Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to go racing here at Oulton Park for the feature race of the evening. We saw Fury taking a fantastic win a few moments ago. What is going to happen here? It looks like we are underway. And it's a poor start there from Bullen off of second place. It looks like Flaky immediately defending to Keegs towards the inside. But Emo Guy gets through the first corner unscathed and it keeps on to the lead. Soaky Devil's up into P5. It looks like we've got Welshie. And what's happened there in the background? It looks like somebody's lost it coming on off the start line. Sebastefano. What's happened there? His evening gets only worse. Sebastefano's had another incident. As we go back to the lead, we got Emo Guy, Flaky up into second place, Bullen third, Smoky Devil trying to fend off Fury at the moment. Welshie currently sat in P6. We got Matahimovic running around in seventh place. It looks like Sutty right behind him as we come into Shell Oils for the first time. But that is very unfortunate there for Sebastefano, getting involved in an incident already so early on in this race, getting all out of shape. As we go back to the battle for the lead at the moment, we've got Emo Guy currently fending off Flaky by 0.4 of a second. Incredibly close battling between these guys in the opening couple of laps. Currently Bullen, Smoky Devil, Fury all over the back of Smoky Devil. The race winner in the sprint race, Fury, is looking to make some headway already here in this feature race. He's having a little look towards the inside as they come under the water tower, but it looks like he can't quite get it done at the moment into Druids. Still has to concede that position, and it looks like Matahimovic is now all over the back of him. These two wonderful guys fighting for the win in the sprint race. They're absolutely bumper to bumper at the moment as they come into Lodge corner, but at the moment he can't quite get the move done. He's looking to the outside though, and is Matahimovic going to have a chance? It looks like he might get involved in this action as well, but Fury's up ahead of Smoky Devil around the outside coming into Old Hall corner. Matahimovic all over the back of Smoky Devil now as well. Has a little look to the inside on the run up towards Cascades. It looks like Sutty Apex has lost the car. Sutty Apex is into the barriers on the exit of Old Hall. It looks like Keegs has done exactly the same thing. Unbelievable stuff. Sebastefano and DJ Phil both make their way through. But what on earth was going on there? Looked like they just made exactly the same mistake, and Keegs, DJ Phil actually get caught up in that as well. Unfortunate for DJ Phil. In the meantime, it looks like Flaky has got ahead of Emo Guy in the battle for the lead at this point. 0.4 of a second separating these guys as they come into Britain's. But Flaky is going to want to take the win here. Obviously this is his comeback drive here at Motive Racing, and he's had a good showing so far. I don't think he read the rules on the top 5 don't qualify rule, so he will probably face some kind of penalty in this race, but he is currently leading the race by a very slender margin at the moment to Emo Guy. Currently Bullen sat in third place at the moment with Fury not too far behind him, closing that gap, the race winner in the sprint. I'm sure we'll be looking to make it a double here in this feature race. Still a long way to go, obviously. Fury's going to say, go Fury, go. Currently the gap at the front, just under a second between Flaky and Emo Guy. We see somebody, Nick the Villa there, coming into the pits. He seems to have had lots of problems in the opening part of the race. Does Nick the Villa? He's already coming in at the end of lap, it's lap 1 for him. He's still on the first lap. What has happened to him? We're not quite sure what's gone on there with Nick the Villa, but he's lost a lot of time in that process. In the meantime, we currently got Flaky leading the race by a narrow margin to Emo Guy. These guys lapping pretty similar lap times. Last time around, Flaky in the high 1 minute 36s, Emo Guy in the low 1:37s. Bullen dropping a little bit off of these guys in P3. He's got Fury just cruising up onto the back of him at the moment. Smoky Devil and Matahimovic currently running in P5 and 6. Matahimovic still unable to make that move on Smoky Devil. He has been on his rear end for a few laps now, but ultimately hasn't been able to force him into a mistake. Sebastefano currently running in P7. And it looks like we've got an incident here. Somebody's gone off. It looks like Fury had lost it coming through on the exit of Britain's, and that caused a chain reaction which caused Matahimovic and Smoky Devil to both get involved in the accident, and Sebastefano has managed to leapfrog all of them up into 4th place. Very fortunate there for Sebastefano. So he is up a position. Sorry about that, guys, had to quickly sort something out. But Flaky still leading this race at the moment, holding a 2-second lead at the front of the field over Emo Guy stages, but Flaky caught up to him, made that move, and currently has the ascendancy here in this one. Bullen running in second place. It looks like Bullen having a look to the outside here of Emo Guy, but Emo Guy just about actually keeping on to that P2, very, very close to relinquishing that position, but looks like Bullen very much on a mission at this point. Bullen was actually 7/10 quicker than Emo Guy on the previous lap, so he's definitely running strongly at this point. It's Sebastefano, who was so unlucky in that sprint race, had a few spins which dropped him out of contention. Is currently running in 4th place. He's got ahead of Matahimovic, and he has only got about 3 seconds up the road to Emo Guy and Bullen, so Sebastefano, if he can keep himself out of trouble, could be on for a potential podium here in this race. Flaky currently in this race by just under 5 seconds at the moment, lapping quicker than anybody except Sebas and Matahimovic. Actually, these two are going incredibly quickly out there, currently in the 1 minute 35s. These guys have got some serious pace at this point. Sebas is closing up onto the back of Bullen at the moment as these guys come into Britain's. Looks like Sebas not quite close enough to get that move at the moment on the exit of the corner. Is he going to maybe have a look as they come up towards Hislops? Again, I think he's not quite close enough to get that one to happen at this point. Emo Guy's now got his mirrors absolutely full of these two. What is he going to do about this one? It looks like a tremendous amount of pressure at this point. Is Emo Guy going to crack under the pressure, or is he going to stand resolutely and not allow it to affect him? Matahimovic just closing in on this pack of the back. Oh, and it looks like Bullen gets into Sebastefano there, and Sebas ends up into the barriers. It looked like a little bit of incidental contact there. I know Bullen didn't ram him on purpose, but it looked like Bullen getting out of shape caused him to run into Sebas. That was very unfortunate there for him, as we see now Bullen gets out of the throttle. It looks like he's waiting for Sebas there. That's just obviously, as I just said, we know it wasn't an intentional move there. We know it wasn't, but unfortunately, I think it was just due to him getting a bit of a tank snapper on, which forced him to run into Sebas. Sebas retakes that position regardless. We've got Flaky still leading this race by 6 seconds at the moment to Emo Guy, and he is just gradually extending that gap at this point. But we do believe that Flaky will be picking up a DQ from this race, possibly, due to the fact that he didn't observe the top 5 don't qualify rule. He's not racing for points as it is, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue for him, I would imagine. But thus far, Emo Guy will be picking up the race win. Matahimovic will be picking up second, and Sebas will be third. Oh, so we see Smoky Devil there running off onto the grass. And it looks like Fury's going to be all over the back of him now. Fury trying to get that position as they come under the water tower. And it looks like Smoky Devil's lost the car. He's gone off onto the gravel there on the exit of Druids. So Sutty Apex up into P7. Smoky Devil struggling to get the car turned around and back onto the track. Eventually does. It looks like Matahimovic is now coming in for his mandatory pit stop, and Emo Guy is following him in as well. That releases Stefano into second place to chase down Flaky in the lead. Bullen currently still sat in P3 at the moment. Got Gary in the comments section saying Oulton Park's his favourite track. Shame you couldn't join us tonight, Gary, for this race. Definitely would have been good to see you out on the track. I'm sure you've been mixing it in with the top guys. We've currently got Flaky leading this race by just under 10 seconds to Stefano at the moment, and it looks like we've lost somebody from the race. Somebody's retired. We believe that was a disconnection. Oh, it was Keegs. Keegs has unfortunately retired from the race. We're not quite sure what happened there, but ultimately there's something wrong with the car, and he's had to pull out. So Keegs won't score any points for this feature race. Looks like we've got Welshie coming into the pits as well. Welshie driving in his first race here at Motive Racing for this feature race. Wasn't with us for the sprint. Just filling in tonight. Always good to have new faces out on the grid. We currently got Flaky still leading this race at the moment by 8.5 seconds to Stefano. Just keep an eye on the split times and see if Sebas is still closing that gap as he comes over the line to complete lap 7, sorry. Looks like Stefano was another second quicker than Flaky on that last time around, so the momentum is definitely with Sebas, but Flaky's currently got track position. So he will definitely be the one with in the comfort zone at the moment. Bullen currently running in third, lapping a couple of seconds a lap slower than those guys up the front. We've got Sutty Apex currently sat P4 at the moment. Smoky Devil sat in fifth. Oh no, hold on, we've still got Keegs in the race. I do apologise, I thought he retired. So I'm still trying to figure out who actually retired there. Somebody did pull out of the race. As we see Keegs coming into the pits for his mandatory pit stop now. So we believe that Matahimovic has already been in. Welshie has also been in. DJ Phil, I believe, has also been into the pits. So now everybody from 7th downwards has already been in. I'm just going to have a look now and see if Fury's been in. Gary saying he does enjoy these cars. It's a shame that you couldn't have joined us, Gary, for tonight. Gary obviously races in our Clio Cup on Tuesday nights in the Tier 2. Goes into that with a very strong chance of getting promotion to Tier 1 in the race at Monza Short. Should be an absolutely fascinating climax to the season on Tuesday. It'll be 7 PM. We've got the Tier 2s rounding out their season. Tier 1 already decided. The only G took the championship in that on this Tuesday, actually, in the penultimate round at Silverstone National. So that one's all done and dusted in terms of Tier 1, but Tier 2 very much still hanging in the balance. We've got a lot of drivers who are going to have to perform if they want to get their promotion to Tier 1, because only the top 5 will go up. It is going to be a very close and cagey race. Hopefully everybody keeps it clean. We would expect people to, obviously, because here at Motive Racing we do pride ourselves on having some of the cleanest, fastest sim racing on the PlayStation 4 platform. So I'm just having a look now to see if Fury has been in. I don't think he has, though. No, I don't think so. Hold on. Oh, hold on, he might have done. Yeah, he has. So everybody from 6th downwards here in this race has already been in for their mandatory pit stop. Everyone from 1st to 5th has still yet to come in. So Flaky, Stefano, Bullen, Sutty Apex and Smoky Devil all still need to come in at some point over the course of their next 10 laps. Fury, Matahimovic, DJ Phil, Keegs and Welshie have all been in for their mandatory pit stops already, so they do not need to observe that rule for the rest of this race. So we've got Flaky still leading, currently coming up on some traffic by the looks of it. You see him getting all sorts of sideways there coming out of the last corner. Got a couple of comments here coming in on the YouTube stream as well. Bethany Ann Duffin saying, hey Gary, I'm guessing that Bethany Ann Duffin, it would be Matthew Duffin's other half. We've also got Matahimovic's, I'm guessing, I'm not sure. We've also got Fury's granddad saying yes he has in terms of Fury. We've got Gary saying definitely the cleanest league I've raced with in the Clios for sure. Catch you Tuesday, phone's about to die. Okay, Gary, good. Thanks for joining us on the stream. Looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday night for these Clio Cup finale. As we can see, Flaky still leading this race by 5 seconds. Oh, as we see a back marker there, getting in the way of Flaky. That was Keegs there, and Flaky was taking no prisoners. Yeah, Flaky just sort of drove through him there, so Flaky manages to get through. Sebastefano puts a lap on Keegs as well. Looked a little bit aggressive there. Gary saying, my secret fan. Don't know who you're talking about there, Gary. Flaky currently leading this race by 3.5 seconds at the moment over Sebastefano. Sebasto last time around was just over a second quicker than him. So Flaky's got to watch out. I would assume that the aggression as he was coming around to lap Keegs would have been somewhat down to the charging Sebastefano, not too far behind him on the track. And we can see there DJ Phil coming into the pits again. So some strategy problems coming in here for DJ Phil. He's going to have to bring it in for an additional pit stop. That is a real shame there for him. Gap at the front, 3 seconds between Flaky and Sebastefano. We know Flaky's got the pace, he's got the potential. He's going to have to drive the wheels off of this thing over these next 8 laps if he is going to keep on to this race win here in this feature race. Sebas is hard charging in the background. Bullen just coming out of the exit of the pits and up towards Cascades now. Sati Apex still sat in 4th. We've got Smoky Devil currently running in P5 at the moment. Matahimovic closing him down a little bit. Matahimovic was actually a couple of seconds quicker last time around than Smoky Devil. In fact, he was 4 seconds faster than him, so at the moment he's got the momentum very much over Smoky Devil. Fury currently running in 7th place. Hasn't been the race that Fury would have wanted after taking his first win in a sprint race earlier on here at Motive Racing. And what a brilliant job from him, taking his inaugural victory. He might fancy his chances of picking up that 6th place here. Now obviously these guys have already been in for their mandatory pit stops, so once Bullen and everybody else does come in for their stops, it should maybe promote their battle to the one for a podium spot. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. These guys could end up in the top 3 or battling over the top 3 once Bullen, Sati and Smokey all make their stops. Got a comment coming in from Cyclonic Flash saying, can I join your race? Unfortunately it's a league race, Cyclonic Flash, but if you are interested in joining us, then be sure to go to our comment section and click on the link to Discord. Oh, as we see somebody's gone off. Smoky Devil having a moment there, coming through his stops. So Matahimovic and Fury both up into 5th and 6th respectively. Smoky Devil getting all sorts of out of shape there. Shame for Smoky Devil. He has still got to come in to the pits as well at some point. And we see Bullen there just coming into the pits for his stop. Sati Apex will come through to pick up P3. Matahimovic and Fury to pick up P4 and 5. It looks like Matahimovic there just putting a lap on Keegs, I believe, and Fury just coming around behind him to do the same. There he goes. There Keegs doing a great job of moving out over to the side. Keegs not getting in the way of the leaders. Very, very well done there from him. Good to see. And it looks like Sebastefano has taken the lead of the race. Flaky has had a moment and gone off somewhere, so we now see ourselves with a new race leader here tonight. Sebastefano leading the field. He had such a difficult race in the sprint race, but the feature's gone much better for him, and he's looking very, very good now with 6 and a bit laps left to go here in this one. He's still got to come in for his mandatory pit stop at some point. Flaky currently dropping back a little bit off the race leader Sebastefano at the moment, and gap now 1.2 seconds. Flaky knows he's got to respond. He has got to find the absolute max and give it everything here if he wants to get back onto the back of Sebas and possibly make a move on him and get the victory back. But Stefano's done a brilliant job tonight of reeling him in and closing that gap down to what it was, and he is currently the one in control here. Matahirimic just got a couple of seconds back to Fury at this point. Fury currently running in 5th place. Smoky Devil a couple of seconds down the road from him in 6th. It looks like Bullen is actually closing in a little bit on Smoky Devil at this point. Last time round he was a second and a half quicker than him, so this could potentially be a battle going on for 6th place. Let's see, so last time around, well actually Bullen does appear to have made his pit stop on that previous lap, so he might have lost a little bit more time. But Smoky Devil's got to be looking in his mirrors at any moment now, because Bullen is hot on his heels. In the meantime, Stefano's pulled out over 5 seconds of a gap to Flaky. So Sebas very much in control of this race. Looks set for another victory here in his V6 Meganes. Has driven an unbelievable season. And I believe that Stefano will take the championship if he can indeed continue in the position that he's in. Obviously we've got one more round to go next week at the Red Bull Ring, but I believe Stefano will have a gap of around 100 points in the championship after tonight, and he will become the second driver at Motive Racing for this season to actually wrap up a championship with a week to spare. The only G was the other one who did it for the Clio Cups in Tier 1 on Tuesday night. Incredibly impressive from each of those guys in their respective categories to have dominated the championship in the way that they have. Sebas also goes into the Touring Car Championship with the chance to potentially take that one as well, but the championship is incredibly close in that category. So we see Sebas getting all sorts of wide there, coming out onto this little stretch which comes up towards the Lodge corner, but he looks like he's surely got this one in the bag. He's got 4.5 seconds back to Flaky, and it looks like Sebas is now coming in for his mandatory pit stop. Flaky has got to come in at some point as well. We're not quite sure when Flaky is going to play his pit stop card. And it looks like Sutty Apex has got all sorts of out of shape there, coming through his slops. I don't know if that was if there was a back marker involved there, but he seems to have had a moment. You could see he was stationary in the middle of the corner. Fury currently sat in 6th place with Bullen, closing that gap to him. Last time around Fury made a mistake, presumably because he lost a lot of time to him. Bullen just sat in the background, potentially eyeing up this 5th place. But I'm sure that Fury won't be too disappointed with this feature racing. He's probably still on a high from the victory that he had in the sprint race a few minutes ago, and it was a fantastic one as well. It's been a long time coming for this young lad, but he did finally get off the mark and take a W a little bit earlier on. So happy for him here at Motive Racing. Big congratulations to him from all of us here. So I'm sure he's not going to be too worried about mediocre performance in this feature race. Looks like everybody a little bit strung out now here in this classification. The race settling down a bit, and we have got 3 laps left to go. With Blakey, the race leader, is on to the lap 16 here. Blakey obviously still needs to make his mandatory pit stop in a few moments time. look like we've got a little bit of lag on the stream. Not what we want to be seeing. Not quite sure why, because my YouTube stream is running fine. And here we go, Flaky coming in to make his mandatory pit stop with 2 laps left to go here in this race. I really don't know what is causing the stream to lag so much. I really truly don't know. So apologies for that, but nothing I can do about it. Looks like it's actually sorted itself out now, thank God. So here is our race leader at the moment, Flaky. Looks like he manages to come out of the pits still with the race lead intact. Stefano maybe made a mistake on that previous lap, because Flaky holding on to P1. Sebas is going to have to get his foot to the floor in these last few laps if he wants, last 2 laps if he wants to get the win. But Sebas will more than likely secure the championship here in this race. Got Fury and Sati Apex currently separated by absolutely nothing. Bullen managed to get up into 4th place there ahead of Fury. But Fury with his mirrors absolutely full of Sati at the moment. Looks like Smoky Devil's into the pits. Fury doing everything he can to try and keep Sati at bay. Fury getting a little bit wide there out of Cascade. Sati in the slipstream will surely fancy his chances, but too far back on the run up towards Island Bend. Bullen currently sat P4. Made that move on Fury. Looks like he's pulling away from these two at this point. Gap at the front, 4.2 seconds. I think Flaky is going to have enough in hand to bring it over the line in P1. Matej looking pretty likely to complete the podium here in this feature race. There'll be 2 podiums. Impressive. Only seen. And he's more than done a good job here in his first race at Motive Racing. Oh, as we see Fury there getting loose on the exit of Druid, almost going into the path there of Sati Apex, just about keeping it out of the way, but Sati's up into P5. That's now left Bullen reasonably comfortable in that 4th place, but Fury there getting sideways. He had an incredible race in the sprint race, took the victory, but the feature has been the total polar opposite of what we saw from him in the sprint race. But I'm sure he won't mind too much. He's still going to be flying high after what we saw earlier on. But here's the race leader Flaky, who is just coming through the final section here. But here is Stefano, who is currently just coming through the exit of Knickerbrook. Stefano was our touring car champion last season here at Motive Racing. Has got a chance of defending that crown in the last 2 rounds tomorrow, or sorry, on Sunday even. You'll see him out on the track for that one. But he's about to take the championship here in the V6 Megane Trophy. But the race winner Flaky is coming over the line here. There he is, Flaky on his return to Motive Racing, takes the win in the feature race. But Stefano is going to exit the last corner to take the championship here in the V6 Meganes at Motive Racing. The one series that we do in the V6 Meganes goes to Stefano. He will forever have that accolade on his resume. It's going to be Matahimovic coming round to complete the podium. Bullen is going to come around in 4th place. That's Matejevic crossing the line there in 3rd place. Bullen is going to come around in 4th and most likely hold on from Sutty Apex. Fury, unfortunately for him, had that spin coming through this very corner on the previous lap, dropped him out of contention for that particular battle. Bullen comes over 4th, Sutty Apex 5th. Fury is just coming into Lodge corner now to come round in 6th place. There he goes, lights it up out of the last corner, puts it into the barriers, and it's round coming through the last corner. So Smoky Devil might, oh no, that's not, that's a lap car. It's alright. So Fury comes around in 6th. Smoky Devil's lost the car coming under Warwick Bridge. He's going to come around in 7th place in a few moments' time. Got a comment from Simplay Motorsport saying Matahimovic and Sutty with 2 good races. Absolutely. Very good stuff there. Matahimovic on the podium for that race. Well done to him on his Motive Racing debut. Commentates for us in the Clios and shows that he's pretty handy out on the track as well. So that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Flaky taking the win, Sebastefano taking the championship for Motive Racing's V6 Megane Trophy. Brilliant driving from him all season. Takes it with a round to spare ahead of next week's finale, which is at the Red Bull Ring. But Matimovic there completes the podium. Great drive from him as well. Fastest lap goes to the champion of the V6 Megane division here. But ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you to everybody who joined us live on the YouTube stream, and to all the drivers who gave us the action. Also a massive shout out. We will see you tomorrow for the GT3s and the LMP2s coming up at 6 and 8 o'clock UK time respectively. We will be there very